So, Texas Democrat Al Green in Congress has essentially announced that he'll be filing impeachment proceedings against Donald Trump. Now, what does this mean long term? First of all, long term, the likelihoods of this succeeding is very little. It's very small because there are 538 members of the United States Congress, 538 together. There are 435 representatives in the House. There are 100 senators in the Senate. And essentially, this is not going to pass because Republicans not only control both houses, but you're also looking for Republicans on both sides to join the Democrats in this effort. He wants to impeach Donald Trump over his remarks over Palestine, essentially trying to take the entire country and wipe them off the map, something that he said that he was going to do prior to the election. Now, looking at this, impeachment against Donald Trump is not going to happen, and even if it were to happen, it's a slap on the wrist. Donald Trump has already been impeached twice. He was never convicted in the U.S. Senate for it. For a president to be convicted in the U.S. Senate, you need 67 senators. That's 2/3 of the Senate. That has never happened before in our history through any president that's been impeached. Through Andrew Johnson, through Bill Clinton, no president has ever been convicted in the Senate and removed from office. You're going to need hundreds of Republicans in the House to go along with this to impeach Donald Trump, and then you're also going to need 17 Republican senators with a conscience and a soul to vote yes on on conviction of Donald Trump in the Senate. That is not going to transpire. That is not something we should be getting our hopes up about. Representative Al Green he did bring multiple impeachment proceedings against Donald Trump in his first term that were not prosperous, that did not succeed. This is just an individual member of Congress introducing impeachment proceedings, but it is likely to go nowhere. And I feel like people are sort of underestimating what's happening here because it's not just Donald Trump that is the threat here. It is also his vice president, J.D. Vance. Donald Trump has a billionaire that is next to him. That's Elon Musk, who's actively destroying the government. J.D. Vance has a billionaire next to him that got him into elected office as well, which is Peter Thiel, which is going to be a nightmare scenario. You think Elon Musk is bad? Take a look at Peter Thiel. Do some research on that guy. And the way it goes is there is a line of succession that goes all the way down from the President of the United States to the Secretary of Homeland Security. You would have to impeach the entire line of succession to effectively be over with this. That is something that is unprecedented, that has never happened before in the United States government history. But even then, it's not just Donald Trump. It is the movement that he has built. It is the MAGA movement. It is a movement of people who are so willing, who are so in adulation of this guy that they're willing to storm the United States Capitol to continue to praise his name because he won the election. That is the movement here. It is the entire MAGA movement. That is the greater threat here than Donald Trump. That movement is going to outlast Donald Trump. That movement will be here long before he has gone. Long after he is gone. It is that movement that is going to continue to be responsible for the desolation, the eradication of American democracy and freedom and ideals. Either way, we are still in a gigantic problem because even though, yes, electing Kamala Harris would have been significant, it would have been historic, it would have been great for the country, for our representative republic. But it still would have been like putting Project 2025 on hold for 4 years, making Project 2025 Project 2029. Or, however, a situation where Republicans, if they had lost the 2024 election, they literally would have gone to violence. They would have resorted to violence. And that is something that was talked about. That was something that was encouraged by Donald Trump himself. The problem is not just Donald Trump. It is the entire MAGA movement. You impeach Trump, you have Vance. You impeach Vance, you have the entire line of succession that are also extremely pro-Trump, and most of the cabinet is made up of billionaires. It's a scary situation. But then again, every day I remind myself, with little sympathy as I'm reporting, that 77 million people voted for the dictatorship to start. Now, lots of them are crying, saying, why? How can we make this stop? Research was free before the election, and it still is free now. You just decided not to use the resources that you had.